Among the books that I want to become rich, I introduced the attractive Retrograde in the last video. By following the Retrograde 7-step model, presented by the author, it is possible to achieve complete freedom in life. What do you think the moment you hear this? You'll have defense mechanisms like, can I be? You're a special person, so it's only possible. But if you don't crack those defense mechanisms, you never change. In order to overcome this unconsciousness, we must listen to the stories of successful people. This is because humans have mirror neurons and project themselves through other people's stories. Then I hope you will listen lightly to how the author gained economic freedom. Act 1. Something you believed you would never overcome in your life. At 16, I was 35th in my class. My friends in front and back rankings were kids who didn't study at all. But I couldn't understand that I was close to the last place. After cramming all night long, I was the most inferior person in the world of school. As this happened repeatedly, I lived with frustration that I couldn't do anything. It wasn't just that he was ugly because he didn't study, he didn't have money. I lived in the worst neighborhood in Ansan, a villa my relative rented out because he felt sorry for us. You know what? Unlike apartments, old villas are as cold as ice if the floor is frostbite, if the boiler is not turned on. It was like that in my house. And study, appearance, money. Nothing felt like an insurmountable wall to me. Until I was 19, I only played games. It was escape from reality. I only played games until I woke up and fell asleep again. I applied for about 10 part-time jobs at convenience stores or meat restaurants. But they didn't pick me anywhere. But my mother didn't give up. Son, my mom went to the theater today, and the part-timers looked cool. My son is also handsome, so let's apply there. I thought. He's only handsome in my mother's eyes. I'm just useless in the world. As soon as I worked at a movie theater, I was bullied. No one treated me well because I was clumsy and often made mistakes. Then, in the winter of the 20th year, the author hears that the Ansan Library was established and reads a book. And he meets a turning point in his life. I visited him after finishing my part-time job. I was in a hurry because I didn't read many books. But suddenly, I remembered my concern. Is there a book that makes people friendly? It makes it easy for women to have conversations. Then, I picked out a conversational method book from the self-improvement section and started reading it. The content was simple: listen rather than speak your own words. Then, I read several more books on how to have conversations. There were topics that came out in common. Listen to others well. Respond to others well. Don't give lame advice, etc. I applied the contents of the book to part-timers at the movie theater. At first, I usually confided in my concerns and naturally consulted. Asked them to go to an internet cafe together, or joined me at a company dinner. At this time, I realized the power of the book for the first time. As a child, I was really good at games. The secret was simple. After playing a new game with my friends, I went home and secretly read the target book on the website bulletin board. I wondered if there is a target book in life as well as in games. The target book for games is on the website. But I thought that the target book in life was a book. For 2 months, I started reading more than 200 self-improvement books and psychology books at Ansan Central Library. At the time, I lacked reading comprehension and was smart. So, I started reading easy books that a middle school student could read. Then, I wrote down all the phrases I liked in my notebook. I had a strange feeling. I have lived a life of ignorance without reading books all my life. But after reading all day, I became intoxicated with my appearance. I also began to develop strange confidence. These people managed to do it despite such difficult situations? As I read more than 100 success stories over and over, I felt like I could do anything. The unconsciousness began to change gradually. 2 hours a day, the start of a miracle. Now 21, I have a desire to go back to college. But I don't have money and don't know how. I chose to study myself ignorantly. Just as the top one in the game guidebook. I expected my grades to improve instantly once I learned the XSAT guidebook. So, I went to Anson Central Library every day for a year. There, I met someone who studied economics and stocks, and wanted to get a real estate agent license. These two were good friends during a year of lonely self-study. The two were successful people in society. And they always said that I would be successful, which helped me a lot. I was embarrassed because the results of the XSAT were not good. So I could no longer contact them. Why did I fail again? I was constantly reading and fantasizing. As I read and gained knowledge, I was only mistaken for, I'm an amazing person. And I can do anything. But the 3 walls were still blocking me. At the age of 23 when I entered Chonbuk National University as a late college student, I sometimes felt suicidal due to the gap between reality and ideal. However, there was something I desperately thought of in the meantime. Successful people read and write a lot. So I decided to read books and write for 2 hours a day no matter what. But then something surprising happened. This groundless belief began to take effect. Reading and listening were much better understood than before. Whatever you looked at, the essence or core, was quickly grasped, and standards began to be set for yourself. The second thing that began to crack was the wall of money. When I was a freshman in college, I posted a post on the school extracurricular bulletin board, and it was a hit. This series of processes eventually created a structure that earned 50 million won per month without doing anything from 31. At 33, the net profit of Crow 80 million per month began to surpass. He started YouTube with the nickname Jucheong and made 160,000 subscribers and retired. 34. As the business grows, we hire larger-scale employees. A total of 6 businesses and 4 equity investment projects, including 35, and the main company, are generating more than 100 million automatic profits. And through the news, he is meeting Jieun again and staying with her as a life partner. Now I'm not constrained by anything. People ask me if I'm happy. Isn't it rather strange if I'm unhappy under my conditions? I'm really happy. Did you all enjoy it? The reason the author told her long story is that she wanted to crack her unconscious mind through this story. I think it opens the way for her to succeed. Then let's follow the 7-stage model of retrograde. I really hope everyone gets their freedom by becoming a retrograde. In the next episode, we'll go to the first stage of retrograde, the process of dismantling self-consciousness. This series of processes eventually created a structure that earned 50 million won per month without doing anything from 31. At 33, the net profit of Crow 80 million per month began to surpass. He started YouTube with the nickname Jucheong and made 160,000 subscribers and retired. 34. As the business grows, we hire larger-scale employees. A total of 6 businesses and 4 equity investment projects, including 35, and the main company, are generating more than 100 million automatic profits. And through the news, he is meeting Jieun again and staying with her as a life partner. Now I'm not constrained by anything. People ask me if I'm happy. Isn't it rather strange if I'm unhappy under my conditions? I'm really happy. Did you all enjoy it? The reason the author told her long story is that she wanted to crack her unconscious mind through this story. I think it opens the way for her to succeed. Then let's follow the 7-stage model of retrograde. I really hope everyone gets their freedom by becoming a retrograde. In the next episode, we'll go to the first stage of retrograde, the process of dismantling self-consciousness.